whole counties to the test. It's all in perspective. Break the one.
Hehe, alrighty, boob tubes. I thought, oh, who's that talking? Anyway, in the evening, I just found that remix there. I'd never heard that before. What the fuck have they got? 50 Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, Easy, Snoop Dogg, Dre, Exhibit, Method Man. Pretty cool, man. I've never heard that before. Only listen to rap on tape live. It's pish. Just my personal opinion. Anyway, welcome one and all. More ramblings of a madman's mind. This is not the crack cocaine of social media. It's not your shitty talk. Fuck you, shitty talk. The wheels are turning. Yous call me bastards are in the fucking in the crosshairs. Taking away our piano players, yeah, bastards. That was the final straw. Fucking do all your slaving. Tell us all your cheap shit, your slave labour and all that kind of jazz. We're all good with that. But don't fuck with our piano players on the YouTubes. Final straw. But anyway, fuck you, shitty talk. Not even fucking playing me's anymore. But more ramblings of a madman's mind. And everything that's going on, this is kind of a curveball. But it's where my head's at the moment. My head wasn't here 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm glad that it shows journey, progression, movement, growing, moving along, and I would love to think that in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years time, my head won't be still in the same place, because again there'll be progression through. I need to get rid of Great Britain News fucking alerts on my fucking phone, but it shows progression. So I would hate to be in the same place, talking about the same shite, with the same opinion, in any amount of time, to be honest, but especially when you like look at it and it's going on decades now, body deep in this shit, you know, and some people are still in the exact same place as when they get into it, no shifting them. And there's some people joining UKIP. Not me kip, but UKIP. You get me? Fucking ding dong. It'd be alright if I win money on the football. But until then, it's annoying me. I do need to check my soccer. But the journey through this whole pish, especially with the shit that happens in this area of the world and around Jerusalem. There, that's some language that nobody can dispute. The bit of the world that is in and around Jerusalem, the shit that goes on, has went on, continues to go on, will continue to go on in my fucking opinion. Chelsea just scored 5-0. No, I need Middlesbrough to score. I've got Chelsea to win, but both teams to score. Middlesbrough, get your finger out, you pricks. At least score one. Chelsea are piss right now. Just throwing me up. Anyway, the journey, the reason I talk on my change of perspective and opinion on things through my journey through this whole fucking mindfucker shite, I'm quite proud of, to be honest. I'm not asking anybody to agree with whatever crap I'm saying. Far from it. I'd hate anybody to be on the same page as me, man. It's a fucked up fucking. You're like, wolf. But I do have my own opinion. There are a few people out there that get where I'm coming from, at the very least, if not agree with what I'm saying. I've never actually came across anybody that's like, oh, I spot on, but people that can see the kind of shit that I'm seeing, but have their own take on it, which is all good in the hood. Because who am I? I'm no arbiter of truth. I'm not sitting in any pedestal, putting myself on a pedestal, saying I know better than anybody else, because I don't. Do a fuck. But over time, we just hunters of crazy shit. Fucking hell, man. I need to stop betting. Over time, my opinions have fucking shifted and waned and up and down and left and right. And it confuses a lot of people, you know what I mean? But that confuses a lot of people, just having that wee thing up near your wall. It confuses a lot of people. It triggers a lot of people into a reaction of like, they know who you are, what you're all about, and that I'm sacrificing babies in the basement. It's mental. And it's like, you hear people saying that, and you're like, no, are you for real? And then like, rah, 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 rah. They are for real. They are that fucking nuts. It's like back in the day when you used to hear about soap actors and actresses getting assaulted on the street. You know, like when there was a baddie or something in one of the soaps, you know, and he was doing some really bad stuff. And you would hear about people like kind of assaulting them or having a go at them on the street and stuff. You're like, are you for fucking real? But people are that simple and stupid on occasion. Anywho, so my opinion has changed, evolved, evolution with this whole thing. And it's maybe because I think about things too much, too deeply. Because this is an old school proper conspiracy theory that you need to sit and listen. As I said, it's not the crack cocaine, it's not the shittity talk, social medias, it's the suppository. You need to bear with it while you're shoving it up your ass. Oh, I don't know if it fits. Just bear with it. Some devil's lube. The conversations you have when you're fucking pretty much naked in a steam room with dudes. It's beautiful. The therapeutic nature of that. There's something to be said. Anyway, this is the suppository of social media. You need to wrestle with it for a wee bit first. Wee bit of devil's lube. And then boom, right up the arse. Then it will bring you down gently like. Yeah. No, Chelsea, fuck you. Chelsea are 6-0 up. I need Middlesbrough to score a goal, man. Come on, Chelsea, let them get one in. Come on, that's unfair. 6-0, man, that's taking the piss. Anyway, so this is the suppository. I'm going to tell you how I've ended up on the page I am when it comes to what's happening in. And this is the kind of language or things. I've never had any problem talking about this on my channel, right? But that's because I'm a fucking fart in a storm. Nothing. But if you upset somebody saying this shit, they could fucking try and hung, draw and quarter you for it, even though I'll stand by everything I say. And it's when it's this refusal to accept there's a difference between a political ideology, aka Zionism, and a legal state, which would be the state of Israel, which the state of Israel has many religions under its umbrella, although predominantly it is a Jewish state. And you're not allowed to separate the two. And then if you point at the Orthodox Jews who protest the Zionist state of Israel because it's against the readings of the Talmud or Torah. I'm not sure what one. Both. Not sure. Need to brush up in my Orthodox Judaism. It's against all the teachings of Judaism, if you look at it from an Orthodox perspective. But the people in charge know all these cunts that are descendants from people that have wandered through the desert for years. These white-looking pasty motherfuckers, man. Some of them as white as me, man. Would last like fucking 30 seconds in the desert, never mind fucking 3 months, 3 year, 30 year, however long they roamed the desert. But we're talking in the realm of fairy stories here, where it's like people having a pissing competition about, well, our dude fucking walked on water and was a fucking product of a virgin birth. I mean, come on! Can you imagine if Jeremy Kyle had a fucking shot at that? Right, right, fucking, there's Abraham, right? Old Abraham, right? And he's the father of fucking old Al, Abraham Al, Ab Fab, right? Old Ab, right? And he's in care of this young little girl who's just started her period, so early fucking teenage years, and shouldn't be getting fucked off of fucking grown men, probably even back in that day. Not to mention, well, it's not even so much shouldn't be getting fucked off of grown men. It was more back in that day, it was about ownership, wasn't it? That kind of jazz. You know, it was a lot more complicated way back when. Let's even just say that these people even fucking existed in the first place. Because this is a fucking fairy story. Right? So, an old dude, a young lassie gets pregnant, and old guy's like, "Oh, I didn't pump her. It's the fucking son of God." Right? Yeah, well, Sherlock, I'm going to take you to fucking 1980 something and fucking wherever Marty McFly hung out, and we're going to fucking find the flux capacitor and go back in time. You're going to sort out this mystery. Was this a virgin birth, or did the little girl get pumped and somebody covered the story with a fairy story? I covered the truth with a fairy story. What would you say? Where would your money be if you could find a bookie that would take money on that shit? You can't. Tried. Mental. Chicken Oriental. Anyway, so that's enough about that. And as I said, this is like the suppository of social media. It's not meant to be comfortable, you know, that I may upset. Listen, I don't give a flying fuck. Everybody should be able to worship what they want, as they want, how they want, when they want, all that jazz. You just ain't going to see me, being able to crack a smile at cunts that believe in virgin births and walking in water, etc., etc., and then start arguing about fucking whose book that killed less people and shit, man. We go into that. Wow. Right? Let's summarise. Is there any book out there that hasn't killed fucking millions, if not billions of people? Oh yeah, that'd be every book that isn't related to fucking religion. Organised, retarded religion, old men with fucking big beards and stupid fucking costumes telling you what the fucking word of God is. Fuck you, old man. No offence, you old fuck, but fuck you. I'll figure out what the word is of God. If God is talking to any cunt, he'll fucking talk to me as well. Get it? Got it? Good old fucks. People have lost that. They're all bowing down to fucking... Oh, man. That's why that speaker's corner, anytime I turned it on, man, it was like... It's... What's the word I'm looking for? Pseudo-intellectuals. You know, the borderline Rain Men fucking idiots that can they can read the religious texts. The fucking muzzies are the best at it. Abraham said, you're like, fuck off and go and have a shave, you fucking scruffy looking bastard. But that's just me, right? So, as I said, I want to let people in on the madness of a madman's mind. And remember, if you do enjoy these, I'm going to start calling them podcasts because they are podcasts. It's just for years we've all been doing podcasts. We just didn't realise they were podcasts yet because they were called YouTube live streams. And then nowadays, that's what podcasts are. I mean, you turn on the BBC in the morning, man, you've got Nicky Campbell, and it's like, so like, here, I don't want to look at him. He's got no charisma, he's got no camera presence. It's just a fucking another symbol of Scotland ruling the world. What's Nicky Campbell doing fucking on BBC fucking International? He should be up here working for the BBC Scotland. Anyway. So, this is from PalestineStudies.org, right? For some reason the wee flag isn't coming up. You need to do this. Where the fuck's it? Oh, it's hiding behind. Britain? It's really in no relevance. But you can go and dive into this yourselves. You can even dive into Lord Balfour's family tree, which traces back to Robert the Bruce, King of the Jungle, the Lion, King of the Jungle, biblical shit. Robert the Bruce wanted his heart buried in the old Jerusalem, but his pals, Sinclair, one of the same. Back in the day, didn't make it. I think the muzzies killed them at some point. You know, that's a part I need to refresh myself on. I forgot. Anywho, so this piece is put together with use of Munair. This is as good as it's going to get for me. I wish I was a real boy and could read properly. Shut up, Pinocchio. Get on with it. Gabby Grey Hips. How you doing, Gabby Grey Hips? In the evening. Ramblings of a Mad Irishman. I'm not Irish. Do people think I'm Irish? You've got a bad ear for accents, bud, if you think I'm Irish. Dirty trainer turd. I don't eat potatoes. Too soon? Nah, mate, I'm certainly not Irish. I love the totty picking bastards. Are you really Irish, mate? Or is that your name, or is that what you're writing? I can't figure that out. That's right. Get you now, man. Sorry, I had these stupid specs on and you can't really see what's going on most of the time. You're right, buddy. How you doing, man, in the evening? Oh, fuck me. Oh, I'm honestly turning... In fact, I'm not turning into a lightweight. I'm actually... Which is really, 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 really fucking healthy. I'm getting physically tired. Just want to rock into my bed. See, right now I could go and close my eyes and I'd be sleeping. Anyway, but I want to look over this and try and explain my madness. So, Lord Balfour. Everybody points to right. Let me start from the beginning because it's a good place to start. Try and leave your confirmation bias. I don't care, but just for the purposes of an exercise, try and leave what you think is going on at the door and approach this feel like an alien coming down and some cunt trying to explain this to you. Right? As a fresh, like a newborn baby, like a wee green man. No the ones in your eyes or your nose. A wee green man coming down from up above. And just try and imagine that you're absolutely ignorant, naive to everything that's went on. And they go, right, okay, well, this area of the world has been constantly fought over since known history. Who's it been fought over by? Predominantly the two major religions, Muslims and Christians. Oh fuck! So who's been in charge most of the time? Well, it's a good question, which I don't know an answer to, but it's probably going to run roughly bounce out about 50-50. Everybody's got their bibs and their wants to control that area of the land for crazy ass religious reasons, and it may even surpass money. Right? Okay. So who's in charge of it now? Well, right now, technically speaking, it's the state of Israel, which has the guns, bombs and bullets in that area of the world, which encompasses Jerusalem and its heart, as its capital. Shit, I'm having flashbacks to Israel's capital used to be Tel Aviv, but they changed it to Jerusalem, or did they try and change it and get knocked back? Oh, fuck. I forgot more than I can remember. Something along those lines, though. Right, so there's been a perpetual war between the Muslims and Christians for that area of the world for all time. Aye. Where's the Jews kind of been in these wars? Never to be seen. Making money and fucking floating about. Right. They're no dying in their thousands and shit. Nah. Right. Is there any notable times when all the Christians before Christianity was fractured into 1,000,001 different fucking Fruit Loop fucking factions? Aye, there was it was called the Crusades. Aye, so what happened during the Crusades? Well, it was like you had the Pope of Rome. He was the God's ordained man on earth. Sometimes he stayed in Spain at points. But, like, generally he was the head of the church. There was no any other churches. It was just that was the church. And if you weren't a fucking part of that church, you were fucking the gang. You were a witch. You were a fucking this. You were that.
Hello, Moto.
Oh, well, man. So, mate, if I don't know if you're watching this or no, man, I'll phone you back in a wee bit. So, you were a witch. You were out the gang, Christendom. Right, the Pope of Rome. And fighting the Muslims. That's where Count Dracula came from. Right, listen to this for a crazy fucking tangent and a half. And this video footage is everywhere. In fact, it's on my channel a few times. Prince Charles, the current king, was on Country File or something, because he does a lot of country shit, walks in the country and shit. And the long and the short of it, there was one point where he was speaking to the presenter. He was like, "Yeah, do you know these shows I was actually related to Count Dracula." Whose real name escapes me right now. But Count Dracula was real. What was his name? Fuck. Wish I could remember. But I can't. Hold on, I'm acting. I don't have the internet here. Count Dracula's real name. Vlad the Impaler. Vlad Dracula. Son of the Dragon. Because he was for the House of the Dragon. And the reason he gets such a rep for what he was doing was because he was the barrier between Christendom and the Muslimdom, or the Caliphate at the time. It would be the Caliphate, I think technically it would have been called. And what he used to do is not just kill Muslims. He used to put them in fucking stick them in stakes and all that jazz. God only knows what's rumour and what's myth and all that. But he was the front line of Christendom and the Muslims, because the Muslims, I see, obviously, if you look at it, if you know your geography, you know where Romania is, you know where Transylvania is. This is where this guy's gaff was. He was the last, so he was the first line of defence. That's why he gets away with so much shit. Because he was, you had the Pope, and then the Pope ordained people in countries, apart from Robert the Bruce, who stabbed the ordained cunt in the back. King of the Jungle. True. But he was ordained by the Pope and got away with so much crazy ass shit because he was the first line of defence for Christendom during his time. And that's why the crazy shit that he done, he got away with. Gabby Grey Hips, how you doing, everybody? So that's old Vlad. Let me see if I can find Prince Charles saying that he is Prince. This is just the first one I found, right? Let's see if I can find the video. Where's the video of him fucking saying it, man, in that wee? Definitely on my channel, so. Anyway. Hey. Let me see if I can do this. I'm sure I can do this. How do I do this? Right, so Vlad is technically Charles's great grandfather, 16 times removed, through Queen Mary of Teck, consort of George V, Queen Elizabeth II's grandfather. Charles is also related to the Eastern European countries' custodian of the crown, Margareta of Romania, with whom he spent summers as a child. And there is footage of him saying, we are a descendant of, I don't know if he said Vlad the Impaler or Count Dracula. But very interesting. And you only need to look at what Queen Victoria done to fucking breed these motherfuckers that take over the whole European fucking racket. That's what Queen Victoria done, man. Fucking bred her way into fucking every royal family out there and took it over. She was a fucking Machiavellian motherfucker. Was it her or people behind her? We shall never know. But anyway, so let's have a wee look at this, because this is the whole point. Christians have been screwing over Jews for a long time. Jews were allowed to do usury, but had no money or power. The Knights Templar, who were running the Crusades, on the surface couldn't do usury because they were Christians, and that was frowned upon, but they had bags of power and bags of gold. A marriage made in heaven. And if, depending what side of the story you stand on or believe, there are versions out there that would suggest that the Jews could have just get used, you know, used to launder all that dough, do their usury, make a lot of money, and then when the Christians who had all the power and money would just turn around and go, the fucking Jews are doing usury, and then they would get kicked out. And then, if you look, this ties in with Robert the Bruce, he's a rise to fame. If you go and look at the timeline, at the Friday the 13th, a year before Friday the 13th, Jack de Molay, I think his name was, get burnt at the stake, the head of the Knights Templar in France. The Pope and the French king got together and burnt them at the stake and ran them out of France. Now, I would need to go and check the timeline again, right? But the Jews get kicked out a year before the Knights Templar. The Jews get kicked out almost exactly a year later. The Knights Templar get kicked out, and the Knights Templar get kicked out for having too much power and money, more money and power than the king and Pope. And then that's where you get all they were kissing each other's anus and weird fucking ceremonies and all that kind of stuff. Is that real? Or was that shite that was spread amongst the fucking peasants to want them to kick them out? I don't know, I wasn't there. I was not there. What I do know is when the Knights Templar, before the Knights, Scotland is the only country in the whole of Europe, including England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, etc., that did not confiscate or transfer the properties of the Knights Templar. Let's go and check it out. Every other fucking country in Christendom did, because they were under the thumb of the Pope. Robert the Bruce was not, because he stabbed the Pope's man in the back in a abbey. Was it Dunfermline or some shit? Something, I forget what abbey it was. Stick it in your Googles, that's my brain. That's why Robert the Bruce was discommunicated from Rome. Pope said Robert the Bruce isn't my man, which makes him not God's man. And Robert the Bruce went, fuck you! And then gave the fucking English a doing at Bannockburn and all that by conducting what nowadays would easily be able to get portrayed by the English side as terrorism. Because Robert Burns didn't, he had the knowledge. Where did he get that from? The Knights Templar. Some would suggest because they were master military tacticians after fighting in the Crusades. And you've got his descendant, Balfour, rocking up, creating Israel. Anyway, I can add this. This is ramblings of a madman's mind, man. Right, so there's that stuff. Here's the dude. Here's the dude that wrote this article that I'm going to go over, right? So he's a Palestinian American writer, political analyst based in DC. He was previously directed the Jerusalem Fund for Education. Early life, he was born in Lod, Israel. Spent the majority of his early life in New Jersey. He's got a PhD in government and politics from University of Maryland. Pretty sure that's quite a prestigious uni, isn't it? And a BA in political science and history from the University of Massachusetts, and an MA in government and politics from the University of Maryland. So he's got a good CV. 2015, he appeared on the list of the 100 most powerful Arabs under 40. Like a fucking Middle East Tinder or something? I don't know. Mar wrote that Biden administration had ignored the Palestinian issue. Nah, no shit, Sherlock, man. Fucking Biden ignores pretty much everything. Ooh, he's like a fucking fart in a trance, man. It is kinda married to a Palestinian from Nablus in the West Bank. Okie doke. So, just to get a bit of background on the dude. So, we have to face facts. Balfour said, men are not, and these are quotes, you can go and check this out, men are not born equal. The white and black races are not born with equal capacities. They are born with different capacities, which education cannot and will not change. Booyah! Support Israel, motherfuckers! The Rothschilds, 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 the Rothschilds. You ever think you're getting fucking late and get the breadcrumbs? Get you fucking shouting at a fucking Jew for fucking all your life? You can't see the wood for the trees. You don't even know it's your own folk fucking fooling you, man. A century ago, 67 words changed. I thought it was on the back of a fucking napkin. Maybe I'll be educated. History in the Middle East in a statement that could fit into 2 tweets. Woo! 2 tweets, motherfucker! Balfour, then British Foreign Secretary, announced that the British government would support establishing a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. 100 years later, that profound legacy of what became known as the Balfour Declaration continues to define the dynamic between Israelis and Palestinians. And although our Israeli Prime Minister Nutjob is in London this week commemorating the Sentinel with Theresa May, it's worth understanding why the declaration is nothing worth celebrating. Though he may be most known for aiding the Zionist cause in 1917, it's crucial to remember that Arthur Balfour was a white supremacist. He made that much clear in his own words in 1906. The British House of Commons was engaged in a debate about the native blacks in South Africa. Nearly all the members of the Parliament agreed that the disfranchisement of the blacks was evil. Not so Balfour, who almost alone argued against it. Woohoo! Send the Jews off to the camp. We'll care. Right, so this is a dude whose signature brought the legal entity of the state of Israel around. What's the state of Israel there for? It's like a fucking flat. It's like a flame of flies. All the Jews just fucking flock there. Man, I want to fuck a Roman fort wall because they think it's the glory wall, and then they become a standing army against the Muslims. Who would think that way? Who would think that sort of a devious and evil to use a whole religion as a cannon fodder? Yet again, use the fucking Jews. Yeah, who's dying in Israel? Who's dying in Israel? How many Europeans have died in Ukraine that we've heard about as of yet? Well, Europeans. Ukrainians are not fucking Europeans. Speak to those fucking motherfuckers, man. They're as fucking crackpot as fucking the Poles. No offence, yeah, crackpot Poles and fucking Ukrainians, but yous be crackpots, man. Fucking photo, your fucking nation was bad until I fucking bumped into you lots. Anyway, let's get back into the fucking meat of the pudding. He's most known for aiding the Zionist cause. Balfour was a white supremacist, he makes that much clear. He was the only one that argued against it. From the Journal of Palestine Studies, right, there we go, that's his source. We have to face facts. Lord Balfour said, men are not born equal. The white and black races are not born with equal capacities. They are born with different capacities, which education cannot and will not change. But Balfour's troubling views were not limited to Africa. In fact, despite how his now iconic support for the Zionism, he was not exactly a friend to the Jews. In the late 19th century, pogroms targeting Jews in the Pale of Settlement had led to waves of Jewish flight westward to England and the United States. This influx of refugees led to an increase in British anti-immigrant racism and outright anti-Semitism. Themes not unfamiliar to us today. Support for political action against immigrants grew as the English public demanded immigration control to keep certain immigrants, particularly Jews, out of the country. Woo! The public found a sympathetic ear in Balfour in 1905 while serving as Prime Minister. P-fucking-M, motherfucker. Balfour presided over the passage of the Aliens Act. Fucking hell, man. Where's Sigourney Weaver? This legislation put the first restrictions on immigration into Great Britain, and it was primarily aimed at restricting Jewish immigration. According to historians, Balfour had personally delivered passionate speeches about the imperative to restrict the wave of Jews fleeing the Russian Empire from entering Britain. What I love about this sort of stuff is it gives you, whether you believe it being 100% accurate or not, it gives you cause to think about the context. Not even the context, maybe the context of the war, or the context of things that was going on, or just even the lay of the land is a simplistic way to put it. You know, just like the way what the common folk, what was getting said down the boozer. You know, right now it's the brown people in boats, man. People can't get that off their fucking minds. Right or wrong, man, people can't. This the whole nation is obsessed with it one way or the other. A lot of talking heads out there right now as well are pretty much saying that's what is the whole. I need to turn these notifications off. That's what the whole election's going to come down to, immigration, which is sad in a way, innit? Exploration, how you doing? Slim in the evening, my man. Ramblings of a mad Irishman. Mate, that's so strange. I started doing the ramblings of a madman's mind, and that's synchronicity, innit? Gabby Greyhips in the evening. Devon. Or don't worry, I'll give you a penny, mate. I'll give you a penny. Aye, so in the evening, guys, girls, and everything in between. Fucking hell, there's been 17 votes in that motherfucker. Right, so is the state of Israel just another example of Christians using Jews as cannon fodder? Yeah. Oh, this makes me want to fucking ramble on a bit about something, right? But what I want to ramble on about is the fact that this isn't a place for people to blow smoke up each other's arse, man. Different points of view are 110% welcome. If people are here for the right reason, there's no necessity to agree. Far fucking from it, man. It's not even like the people need to walk around like going what, or like text around or whatever you want to say. I mean, banter is allowed, and isn't that I don't find it that hard to differentiate between just all out fucking horrible nasty shit and cunts fucking tongue in cheek banter. Do you know what I mean? I don't find it that hard. But the reason I'm saying that is just because the vote, you know, it's not like the vote isn't rigged. The vote is there to get fucking people's opinion. I'm pretty sure the vote's 100% anonymous, and they can't know. I don't know how to figure out who's voting what. But anywho, the Jews getting used as canned fodder yet again. 33%, 18%, 18 people have voted. So you can fucking do this in your calculator. 33% say yes. More people are in the no camp, 44%, and 22% and they don't know. Which is, you know, that's a fair reflection. I know the shit that the theory, the conspiracy theory, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, that I'm putting forward does sound batshit fucking crazy. But if you think, well, I don't know, maybe I have thought about it too much, and maybe I'm not even saying this, well, I'm saying it tongue in cheek, jokingly, but I'm being genuinely serious at the same time, trying to like still be self-aware in the sense that maybe I am seeing Jesus in toast. Maybe the Jews are evil and trying to take over the world. How did they get there? Whose bombs and bullets are they using? This is where I would go back to. Follow the money, follow the fucking gravy train. And then even at that, if you scratch beneath the surface, the rich motherfuckers on top, they may turn up at church, but they don't have a religion. They're just there for fucking show. Whatever religion or fucking Molech or whatever they want to go and do, whatever they want to shove their dick and whatever they want to do, they'll do it. If that makes kind of sense. But if you're in the room, make perfect use of the wee vote facility. It's always worthwhile, man. It's always good for the input. So let's have a wee look at this shit, right? So that was the Jews fleeing from Russia and entering Britain. And Britain, at that time, again, their buttholes were fucking getting puckered by fucking brown people in boats. They were just less brown, these motherfuckers that were coming over that time. Less brown, bigger noses. Too soon? Both can be traced back to immigration and hold on. It may seem astonishing. Who supported designers code had made him a hero amongst Jews, would have implemented anti-Jewish laws, but the truth is his support of Zionism stemmed from the exact same source of his desire to limit Jewish immigration to Britain. Right, I'm going to come back to this, right? People that watch more than 30 seconds hopefully get the fucking idea that I'm no fucking Jeremy Corbyn supporter. I just found it fascinating. Oh fuck, they're still going on. Fucking talk yourself blind, man. Again, it's just a rerun of the fucking right, this is what Jeremy Corbyn got ran out of Dodge for, right? This is when Jeremy Corbyn started getting dangerous. Because he started adding a dimension into people's thinking that historically, factually, cannot be fucking denied because it happened. But you start thinking about this now and your head goes to shit because of just the simplistic narrative that Whether it's real, no, I don't give a shit. You make up your own mind. There's enough shit out there. But just the general picture that we take, the very simplistic picture that we take away from World War II, this doesn't make sense, right? It happened. It's there. It was happening. Lord Balfour is an example of our own fucking little Hitler sitting in our own aisles doing the exact same fucking deal as fucking Adolf up here with the Jews. Oh, hold on. So he was planning on sending to Ethiopia, but instead he went, I've not got I've lost their passports. We'll just throw them in the oven. Throw them in the gassers. Anyway, this is what Jeremy Corbyn got ran out of the Labour Party for. Talking about this historic event. I say obviously he supports the other opposite side to the pro-Israel mob in that argument, right? But you're not allowed two sides to an argument. You're only allowed one side when it comes to that argument. So he was ran out of Dodge because he brought up this more than a few times. Go and try and find Jeremy Corbyn's statements and thingies about him speaking about this. Very hard. Very, 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 very hard. But this was agreement between the Zionist German Jews and the Nazi Germany and the Zionist German Jews signed on the 25th of August 1933. The Anglo-Palestinian Bank. Any ideas who ran that? Who's the fucking Anglo and the Palestinian fucking Palestinian Anglo Bank? And it's no fucking Rothschilds. Let me see, what am I looking for here? Where they were going to ship the Jews off to. Assets to the British. So this was actually sending them to fucking Judonia as well. I should have been more prepared and got the Ethiopia angle on. For German Jews, the agreement offered a way to leave an increasingly hostile environment in Germany. What? I thought this was genocide! I thought they were trying to fucking kill every single last fucking one of the motherfuckers. But, like, nah, you can leave if you want. If you want to stay, we're going to kill you. If you want to leave, batter in. Yeah, I mean, what makes your head hurt about that shit? But shush. Shh. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. The Nazis gonna gas some more Jews in your alibi. They don't gas some Jews, they don't need the alibi. Do you know what I loved the other week? I made a stupid video about Tommy Robinson. And one of his cult members came in and was like, oh, in fact, I remember now, it was when I was like pointing out that, like, here's Tommy Robinson at the BNP meeting, a far right BNP meeting, right? Provoking the fuck out the fuckers. Somebody dropped up, like, I've been reliably informed, actually, Tommy's more of a socialist. And I'm like, what? So, you're turning around to defend Tommy from being a little Hitler fascist by saying he's a national socialist. Well, that ain't helping, man. It ain't helping. That's how dumb the fucks are. Your average motherfucker that follows him. And he's no allowed to campaign or organise or do any rallies or any shit like that. But he's telling you where he's going to be on fucking St. George's Day. Anyway, so like background the Nazi Party, Chancellor Germany 1933. Oh shit. Sorry man. Oh. And this is the shit that get Jeremy Corbyn. Like him, loathe him. At least he was the opposite side. It gave the politics a semblance of some sort of debate, but he got ran out of Dodge the second he started pointing out some crazy historical facts that might make people's heads go like that. What's actually going on here? Huh? Hitler was shipping off the Jews to fucking Israel. I thought he was genociding the fuckers. Seems a contradiction in terms. It's a genocide, but shipping them off to Israel. Brits win the war, West win the war, ship the Jews off to Israel to become a standing army, to kick out the Jews, to kick out the Muslims after getting training by the SAS, committing all sorts of terrorism and mass genocide and murder and shit to take over that area of the world. All with British training and weapons, SAS tactics, and everything that Israel does, who gets the blame? Everybody's just turning around and like, it's the Jews, 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 it's the Jews. Well, every cunt's looking at America going, hey, I want to go to Disneyland. I love Hollywood. Oh, look at the princess in the balcony. Ain't she lovely in her fucking £20 million tiara? That's the reality, man. Where's the power really lie, man? Anyway, so... and remember, right, the king, the head of the Church of Scotland, baby Jesus, the head of State of Scotland, because it's different, we had a different coronation, because the churches are different, you know, they say that religion doesn't have any power anymore. The king wouldn't be king without that coronation, without the fucking the bishop or whatever being there, and he wouldn't have been able to come up to Scotland as king if he didn't have the Scottish coronation with the Stone of Destiny and whatnot. They wouldn't have been able to make that claim. Anyway, I digress. Right, so there's the German Zionist Party and the Nazi Party's agreement in 1933. This is the shit that got Jeremy Corbyn ran out of Dodge. They can't be having people knowing about that, because people might think, what the fuck is really going on here? You know? It might make people go, let me take a closer look. Which, especially if it's coming from the leader of the opposition. But as soon as he started talking about that was the straw that broke the camel's back. He was out in his ear, I tells you. Right, let's have a wee look back at this. Both can be traced back to his white supremacist beliefs. Balfour lived in an era of stirring nationalism. Ding, 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 ding. Hello, McFly. Ring any bells? Highly defined by ethno-religious identity because of the sentiments. The early 20th century was a time when ostensibly liberal Western nations struggled with the challenge of incorporating Jewish citizens. What the Zionists provided Balfour with was a solution to the challenges Jewish citizens posed to his ethno-nationalist vision, a solution that did not force him to reckon with them. Instead of insisting that societies accept all citizens as equals, regardless of racial or religious background, the Zionist movement offered a different answer: separation. So, do you wonder why Israel is the way that Israel is? It was founded as a big fucking open air fucking concentration camp to use the Jews as cannon fodder, as a standing army at the promise of milk and honey in the middle of a fucking desert, so that Christians could get safe passage there to their holy places, and the Jews and Muslims can endlessly kill themselves. Endlessly. Right? Endlessly. Do you know what? That's what's been happening all my life. All my fucking life. All my memories are of this fucking perpetual warfare. Right? And any and every fucking time you try and get your head round what the fuck is going on, you come up with, nah, this can't be. There's something. What? No. Nah. Do you know what I mean? It's unfucking believable. It's like, right, I could solve this in a day. Make me dictator for a day. It's one day. Boom. I decree no more love bombs and bullets going into that fucking shithole anymore by any side. And if anybody does it, we're going to roll out the nukes on your ass. Listen up, Abduls, Adams, and Abrahams. Get it? Got it? Good. Dickwads. Solved in a fucking day. I just need to be a dictator for a day. One fucking day. Sort those motherfuckers out. So let's listen to more of this beautiful stuff. We're struggling from incorporating the Jews, posed a better solution, separation. Balfour saw in Zionism not just a blessing for Jews, but for the West as well. Woohoo! He wrote in 1919 in his introduction to Nahum Sokolow's History of Zionism, the Zionist movement would mitigate the age-long misery created for Western civilians by the presence in its midst of a body which is long regarded as alien and even hostile, but which was equally unable to expel or to absorb. Now, that's the words, quotations, for the dude that created the state of Israel. My theory about this being created by crazy ass fucking Christians to use the Jews, to use it as a big fucking, like a fucking flame to a moth. Right, this is like it was like shaking up and doing a fucking dollar bill to a Jew. Here, Jews, here, Jews, come over here. Oh, yep, import all your Jews for all over the world. Get them out our country, you stinking Jew bastards. Come over here, you stay in the sand. Yep, you'll love the sand. It's brilliant over here. You can pick oranges and everything. Right, now we've got you over here, Jews. Right, now conscription. Right, now you need to do a couple of years of military service. Why? Well, because what we want you to do is murder all these browner motherfuckers than you and keep them out, take over their land, even though the world's going to hate you forever for it and continuously blame you. Plus, all your kin all over the world is going to get the fucking the splashback, the pushback, the consequences of us committing ethnic cleansing, genocide, depending how you fucking argue it. So that's what's happening, and we're doing it all for the good of Judaism. Well, are you not going to make the whole world hate us? Aye, but what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the Muslims, and then at one point it'll just get such a fucking, after a good few fucking mil of each, fuck it, throw another couple mil on the Barbie, kill each other forever, just as long as the Church of the Holy Sepulchre doesn't get touched. We'll let you have the glory wall or the Dome in the Rock. You can kill each other on the fucking kill each other with bayonets on those two fucking shitholes, and we'll keep the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Don't come fucking near that. It doesn't sound that crazy, does it, when you understand who created? I know everybody goes, fucking Rothschild, right, Lord Balfour. Lord Balfour was a descendant of Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce allegedly had a lot of help from the Knights Templar after they get kicked out of Christendom. They came to the only country in Europe that didn't listen to the Pope, basically. Scotland. And then Robert the Bruce started getting invaded by the English king, who was kissing the Pope's ring. And Robert the Bruce handed his ass to him by conducting what would now be called terrorist raids, guerrilla warfare. They didn't have the numbers to match them one-on-one, apart from Bannockburn and a few other places. Even then, it was the tactics that brought down the English, not the numbers. But away from that, the wider campaign, it wasn't just one battle fucking won the war. It was a full-on campaign against the English, and it was hit and runs in all the English camps. Again, nowadays it would be like what the Taliban done. It's very successfully to run fucking every cunt out of Dodge, hang about, fucking bounce out of caves and fucking kill cunts. That's what the fucking Scots were pretty much doing to the English back in the day. Anywho, I've rattled on enough about that shit. From the Journal of Palestine Studies, Law and Order to Pacificate Britain's Suppression of the Arab Revolt in Palestine, 1936-39. That sounds beautiful, doesn't it? By both giving Jews a place to go and a place to leave, Zionism seemingly solved two problems at once in Balfour's mind. In other words, his support of Zionism was motivated to an extent by his desire to protect Britain from the negative effects, the miseries of having Jews in its midst, rather than protesting the rights of one of its minorities. Britain could simply export them, or at least not import them anymore. Oh man, it's brilliant, isn't it? Needless to say, this view of Zionism is steeped in the same kind of white supremacy as Balfour's view of South Africa's blacks, but his support of Zionist dream had another problem. Rather than solving the problem of how to handle a minority living in a white majority country, the Balfour Declaration just shifted the same problem to a different geography and created a standing army between the Christians and the Muslims. Well, we controlled Zionism because Zionism, Jews, Israel would not last 2 days if they didn't get all the love bombs and bullets for the West. It's like Ukraine wouldn't last 2 days. You know, as soon as you pull the plug on that, the resources coming fucking on tap. The place is full. For the tensions between ethnic nationalism and equality is quality present today between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, where the Israeli state rules over the fate of millions of Palestinians who either have no right to vote, are treated as second-class citizens, or are refugees denied reparation. Today, it is Israel that views Palestinians like myself as a demographic threat, and sees the presence in its midst of a body which is too long regarded as alien and even hostile, but which was equally unable to expel or to absorb. So, like, when Israel does get what Israel's doing does get compared to the Nazis, you can say, well, it's the exact same dynamic. It's the exact same dynamic, right? You're offering them like what's the IDF doing in the Gaza Strip, especially right now? They're rocking up and going, right, citizens, move. We're going to bomb the fuck out of this place. So they're giving them somewhere to go, which is like 2 streets that way before they level this place. But if you stay there, they're killing you. It's very similar to what the Nazis done back in World War II, to the Masons, to the Gippos, to the handicap and all that jazz, and the Jews. They rounded up lots of denominations of people in the prisoner work camps. Because I'm pretty sure Van Braun used a good few of them for his V2 rocket factory, which, by all accounts, a good few of them fucking died on the job, but nobody gave a fuck about that shit when Van Braun was head of NASA. So, let's see, there's only a wee bit left, let me finish it off. The Balfour's legacy of supremacy persists as much as British support for Israel does. It's no accident we have arrived at this point today, because the supremacist attitudes of Balfour informed policy lending imperial might to a project in pursuit of national self-determination for Jews by trampling on the rights of native non-Jews. Remarkably, Balfour was unabashedly aware of the hypocrisies of his stance. The weak point of our position, of course, is that in this case of Palestine, we deliberately and rightly declined to accept the principle of self-determination, he wrote in a letter to the British Prime Minister in 1919. We do not propose even to go through the form of consulting the wishes of the present inhabitants of the country, the 700,000 Arabs who now inhabit the ancient land. Fuck, that's obviously it's over 2 million now, isn't it? Those Arabs, of course, made up approximately 90% of the population. Well, they should have turned it into a democracy back then, eh? And no give Israel the time to fucking kill enough motherfuckers till they could rock up and go, right, can we call it a democracy now? Anywho. So, their human rights, by extension, their very humanity, were consistently seen as inferior to those of others. This was clear in Balfour's perspective as the British mandate policy, and it persists in the form of another and many other policies of the State of Israel through to this day. Today, as much as in 1917, the battle between ethnic nationalism and equality, between particularism and universalism, has risen to the foreground, from Donald Trump's rise in America and Theresa May's Brexit Britain. Rather than resolving this tension, Balfour's support for Zionism merely exported it to Palestine. Resisting the legacy of his racism will be the key to peace in Palestine and beyond. Now, I did give you the background of who this dude was. I did try, that's the dude there, Youssef Munanir, something along those lines. So you can go and check out who he is, and whether you want to believe him or not, or just see where he's coming from. because he's certainly got a dog in the fight. He's from that neck of the wood. His missus is Palestinian. Right, so Iran directly involved in Yemeni Houthi rebel ship attacks. That's beautiful. Build a pish. What's this? Al Jazeera Live. BBC's. Oh, aye. We can't have. There's no enough nationalism. And this is what I love about Tommy Robinson and his mob. They always point to their token Indian. Yeah, brown pal. Woo, there's my brown pal. He equally fucking. In fact, he probably hates Muslims more than you. It's not about the colour of the skin. It's about fucking bigotry, zealots. If you want to put it that way. In the evening, everybody. Gabby Grey Hips. The stretched twig of peace is at melting point. Plonker, Sleepyhead, and then after Crystal, I changed shit. I'm reading these backwards, which is Tenants gives me a sore gut. Mate, if I get a sore gut, it'll be the kebab that I munched before I fucking can. That is for sure. You're on the ball, Kips. I'm on the ball. I'm on the ball. Why have I got a stupid fucking football fucking pop tune in my head, man? Well, you're on the ball. Oh shit. Plenty of Europeans in Israel, though. No. Aye, they're all going to those hippie getaway things. What do they call them? They all wear Jesus sandals and shit. You're on the ball. Sorry, I should have been paying attention more today. Oh, fuck, sorry, man. You know, I would rather be tired than sitting chin to the moon all night, to be honest with you. I disagree, or do I? Her survey says. The arms industry is the big winner, no matter what. Aye, they can't lose, man. They cannot fucking lose. Ali Sassy. It's the other way around. Skullcap crew have been hiding behind Christians. I understand why you think that way, Ali. I think back in the day, I think a while ago, I might have shared these sentiments. Just the more I've thought about it, I've came to another conclusion. But each to their own, man, and who's to say I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right? You know, nobody really knows. I really wish there was a way of genuinely knowing, but unfortunately, it's fucking cunts like best guessing in it. Old tunnels lead the Crown Heights. They were encouraged to leave at the start of the Second War, and then the Crystal Night, it all changed. Sleepyhead. He sets your plonker. Oliver. Sorry, Slim. Feel free to stick any pearls of wisdom in the chat, man. I'm no expert in any stuff. I'm saying what I think, and you're free to say what you think. And that's surely what it's meant to be about. Okay, so I have rattled on enough. I'm going to see how long hell have I rattled on. Nearly an hour and a half. So, thanks everybody that has tuned in. There is that poll there, which will be ending in a wee second. So if you've not took part, stick a wee vote in there. Fuck. That's the most annoying thing ever when you see other people yawning and you're like, oh my god, I just want to go to sleep now. But it is time. It's the witching hour. I need to go start and do some witching. So, fucking hell, there's been 20 votes in this. It's interesting as a mofo. So you can work out the figures. 20 votes. 35 is Israel just another example of Christians using Jews as cannon fodder? And I did separate Israel from Jews there for obvious reasons, as hopefully I've explained. And God knows if I'm right. God, who knows? Satan knows. I'll say that will upset people. But 20 votes, 35% says yes, 45% no, and 20% says don't know. So it definitely seems like the Jews are doing it off their own back. I know it's not getting orchestrated by anybody else. It seems to be winning it. Right. There we go. Poll is ended. Thanks one and all. Sub bell up, get your notifications, stick a wee thumbs up, it's much appreciated. It's like a digital hug. The algo dude told me one day it helps the algos. Who knows? And remember, oh fuck, people lived through fucking a lot worse shit than this. And if this was more about economics than ideology, which I would say it appears to be, you could say all wars are more economic than ideology. One of the prevailing things that will happen is commerce will continue. They want to keep the corporate wheels grinding. That's how they will. That's how I believe it. The governments and shit will be able to like kinda put us on rationing. It's already happened with the gas and electric and shit. We were getting cheap stuff off of Russia for a very long time and no more. And everybody's on their arse, can't heat or fucking eat and all sorts of shit. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to go to my fucking bed. Ugh. Fuck. Thanks for tuning in. Thumbs it up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I shall see you next time. Get it? Got it. Good. Cheese. No cats or cheese. Whatever needed in this filming. No. Meow.
Clips.
And remember, citizens, always subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. And $19.95 plus shipping and handling will keep you out of hell.